Eddie, Pirates not able to get the maximum 3 points at the weekend. Some always argue that big teams get the calls in there, especially it was a home game for them. It didn't happen this way. The red card most certainly changed things, but a slow start from Orlando Pirates, Eddie. I mean, to concede so early, when you're the home team and when you're trying to show that you're a different outfit than you were the season before, how convinced were you by their display at the weekend?
I wasn't convinced at all, Kamza. If you look at Pirates, I think they considered the first goal. I think it was less than a minute when one of the midfielders trying to run with the ball in the center circle. I don't understand as a midfielder, why would you want to run the ball through the middle? Because you can easily, because once you get intercepted from there, it's definitely a goal because everybody has opened up. And now when you lose it, that's exactly what happened. Quick one, and then boom, shot, deflection, and then it was a goal. And then now Pirates, now they have to now try and now come into the game slowly. While Stellenbosch, they said, okay, listen, if we can score one here, let's put more pressure. We can get a second one. That's exactly what they did. And then the game changed. I think it was when a free kick. I mean, that was a sheer class from
Dion Hotto, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was magnificent. I think it was a very good free kick. And then now, if you look at the red card, I think, in my opinion, what I saw, yes, if it was the elbow, I would say maybe I think it was going to be a yellow card, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then after that, I think they're talking about whether he stepped on him or things like that. Then it's a different story. But as a defender, you should have known better that it's towards the goal line. Then why don't I just shield him, let the ball go out, and then that's it. But then now, if you raise your elbow, putting your elbow on an opponent, and then unfortunately it was a red card. But I wasn't convinced with Pirates. I think they're playing at home. They should have done better in terms of even the selection also. Because why put Makaringe, why put Pule on the bench when you really want it? Game when you're playing at home, you want maximum points. And then by the time that you want to introduce them, it's late already. Now you down. There's a guy that has got a red card. Now, even the substitution, what you wanted to do, you won't be able. Your tactical play, now you're forced to change because of the red card. So, but I would still blame the technical team for drawing it home.
Okay, that's an interesting take. Of course, the red card, Tim, one will wonder, was the need for such excessive force, there by Nyauza? I get it, it's an intense game. I'm sure he's an intense individual trying to, get his job done. But sometimes, as a defender, you must think about where you are on the pitch and whether, what you're dealing with is such a threat for you to take that kind of action.
Look, experience comes into play. You may have played so many games, but you lack the experience. That's mind management. Because at that moment in time, a man less for the team, that's a very huge disadvantage at that moment in time. And for him getting a red card for whatever reason, I think it was uncalled for. Yes, the coach would insist that if it's an elbow, maybe this and this and this. I think it was a indecent play, and the referee saw it need to give a red card for whatever reason. It was a red card. It was uncalled for, and then the conceding of the goal. It brings back to the idea, the principles of defending. If a central midfielder has the ball, there is no need for a central defender to go wide open, to open up. You only try to open up if it's showing that it's going to play you, then that's when you open up. But the principles of defending are simple. In case he loses the ball, you should be able to delay play or cut out play and give him a chance to recover. Now, when you all spread yourself wide, it's that elusiveness where you think that you won't lose the ball, you're going to play.
So who was the culprit in that example? Who was the one who went without being told to go?
So Ed, what was his name? I'm not very sure about
Tim, say the name, Tim.
Eddie,
Tim,
which
say the
defender
name,
was it? Say the
Tim,
name.
say the name. Tim wants to put... No, Tim, say it. You know the
No,
name.
Tim, we can say it 3 times there by the mirror. Don't worry, nothing bad will happen. What? Who was it?
because I was more interested in the likes of Jejiris as the central defenders, because I was interested in seeing how they're going to cover, because that was my area of interest. So for me, once you lose the ball as a central midfielder, there has to be cover. And those has to be the central defenders to cover that. They have to delay that attack. So we shall always look at the central midfielder losing the ball, but it shouldn't. There should be cover for that player to be covered because he has lost the ball. The central defenders were out of position in that case. So for me, if you are going to have that analysis and try to see how we can prevent that from happening, then we can talk about it. Because if he ran with the ball and gave a very good killer pass, we'd all be excited that yes, it was a wonderful move. But now that he has lost the ball, there should be a player to delay that, to break that attack and try to delay instead of ball washing. So there's that element of ball washing that has to be cut out of their game plan.
That's interesting. I mean, obviously there was a wicked deflection on that one. But obviously, yeah, it's very difficult for the keeper to readjust there. But I hear what you're saying in that maybe Jalen Tyson might have had a hand in what happened there. But then moving with the keeper, I mean, some people have criticized Richard Ofori Brighton, and I don't know if it's first goal deflection, second one. I don't know. That one for me looked like the way he kind of slowed down and trickled into his net. Better positioning might have given him a better chance. What do you make of that in terms of, did he maybe trust that Tyson had it under control in such a, not super dangerous area? Judas, we know, doesn't need many chances to score. But who's wrong in that one? I mean, is it the keeper? Is it Tyson? Is it who's at fault?
I mean, when you look at it, it depends how you look at it, Kabza. But for me, when I was analyzing the game, from one thing I saw, it's just a combination of a whole lot of series of errors. Coming back to first goal, for instance, actually it starts with the team selection. I mean, another error whereby we're fiddling with the lineup again. Yeah. Whereby it's a new set of center back pairing and a central midfield pairing as well, which is very important. I mean, once you fiddle with your spine, you're bound to you're gonna lose the chemistry within and the balance within the team, and the main important thing to strike that balance, And then coming back to the goals, I believe that the first goal, we could have the guys could have just stayed very compact, forced the play wide and delay the play actually, or force them back, and then they should have been a bit tighter as well, because not tight enough. And then you come back to, okay, the team came back, they fought. Obviously the red card was very decisive and so forth. And then the team scores, 48 minutes, they scored the second goal. From there, 6 minutes from there, they conceded a goal, which for me, I feel like that's where the experience of Tyson and Jelle should come in, whereby now you psych the team up in terms of concentration span, to say, look, guys, much as we have scored, now we need to concentrate. This is a critical phase. I mean, Coach Steve Kompela always said, if you score, you are bound to be scored. You understand? Because of the critical phase, the mental state of where you are, you need to realize, So you look at the second goal, you can see that as soon as Staley's got the throw-in, they all switched off. You understand? And when they switched off, lack of communication between the left back and the winger, whereby now there was a third man runner who's taking it, because Happy Jelle is the one who cleared the ball for a throwing. He's still recovering to his position. But while he's doing so, if you can look at it, you can see that Tyson has his man. And then out of the blue, he loses, I think he lost concentration as well. He lost his man, and he doesn't even know where he is, So, and the body positioning was wrong, because it was only facing the ball, whereby I believe that you're supposed to face the ball and the man, at least if you can have them, even if you can open your arms so that you can have the feel of the ball and the feel of the man on your right hand. And as to the movement from Judas, it was good. I mean, Judas came on for just 3 minutes before he could score that goal. And you could see it was a striker's instinct. And that touch that he got, I believe that the goalkeeper was unaware of his positioning. The positioning was wrong. And ever since, from what I've noticed with Ofori, is that his body positioning is strong, his concentration, his footwork as well. It needs a whole lot of working because the footwork, it's kind of slow. So it needs a whole lot of improvement, both on the first goal and the second goal. But overall, I believe that the experience that was much needed from the senior guys, Happy and Tyson, it should have came into play to say we cannot score. We are one man down. We scored the second goal. I think we need to consolidate and say, guys, let's come back and stay compact, stay rigid, try and manage the game better and see how we can adjust tactically, as opposed to sitting minutes after.
Yeah, I want to ask you though. I mean, we made the point where, players can see what's happening on the pitch and there's levels of distrust sometimes.
Yeah.
Surely if you're a forward and you know that maybe my centre backs get caught out from time to time, you are at your most switched on. Yeah, I could get if your defense is such a wall that you have little to do. That's why you maybe, something catches you off guard. But when you've seen how the guys are playing in front of you throughout the whole game, surely you have to say to yourself, listen, I need to be switched on because these guys can get bypassed at any moment. So I don't understand his approach if you know that the defenders in front of you aren't the clean sheet machine. So why aren't you switched on all the time? I don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it brings me. Yeah. No, you can go ahead, Eddie.
Eddie?
Yeah, because Kamu, you're saying the things that I wanted to say exactly. I mean, the second goal, if you look at the second goal, like what Brighton was saying, the cross, when the guy was about to cross, then 6 players of Pirates backpedaled into the box.
Right.
And then, so Ofori, as the goalkeeper, seeing 6 people against 1, why are you allowing so many people in the box when you can actually say they must close the guy who is supposed to bring in the cross? Because otherwise, if they press that guy for not allowing him to cross, then it was going to be a different story. But when 6 players drop into the box and then still puts in a cross and then he heads it and then it's a goal, then the goalkeepers, in my opinion, I don't know, Brighton, I think in my opinion, when you have 6 players in the box marking one guy, I would punch someone in the head to say, listen, go out there, block, do something out of the box. Because I think once you have 6 players in the box against 1, that causes confusion. Because the one who is saying that this one is going to head it, this one is going to head it. Yes, I understand. Listen, Tyson, a very good player. There's no doubt about that. But now the question that I'm asking myself, that is he the right type of player to play for Pirates? Because most of the games that he has been playing, listen, let's be, he's also a very good friend. But the mistakes that he's doing are really costing him a lot. Now, I don't know if he has been called for the national team. I don't think so. So it's
Eddie.
I'm just saying, this is how I'm seeing things, Tim.
Eddie, I want you to be kind with your words. Say he's not enough for Pirates. Listen, last season, same thing. Season, same thing. No. Same thing against last season. Now, first game, again. Okay, let me tell you something.
First game of the league.
Tyson is going to struggle. Tyson, his game plan does not suit the way Pirates wants to play.
So he's not a Pirates material. That's what you say.
No, I think I beg to differ as well.
Let me tell you something that is interesting. Pirates, they will insist to play from the back. Tyson is not comfortable on the ball. Tyson is a kind of player who is going to destroy, and then you're going to have maybe Happy Jerry to clean up and organize and play. So their understanding has to be very crucial. So for all the goals that are causing problems for Tyson is that they are playing him the ball to play. And all the time he's seeming to be very uncomfortable and is always found wanting in those areas. That is confidence. Now, no one in the team is recognizing that. They continue playing him balls in those difficult positions where it's not easily for him to pick up the teammate to play the ball to. And losing the ball in transition, caught out of position, there's no cover for him. So that when he makes a mistake, it ends up in the back of the net. And that's what looks so bad. So it's going to take teammates to try and help him to grow his confidence, to try and become very useful for the team. At this moment in time, he's being left like a man on, up on the sea just to drown at this moment in time. And so it doesn't look like he's a team, is a player that is qualified to play for Pirates, because it looks like now it is every man for himself and Pirates as a team.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I agree with what you're saying now, Tim. The reason why I said I beg to differ, I beg to differ with what Eddie's saying in terms of saying he's not the Pirates player, because for me, I've played with Tyson, national team. I've played with Tyson at Vets and so forth, junior levels as well, national team. Tyson has always been a destroyer, like you are saying. He has always been a robust player. He's always been the man to go to when you need, players who have character, But at the same time, one thing that we forget is that his support structure around him is very key. I mean, at Vets, he had a Bushle Mkhwanazi, brilliant defender. We used to call him Bushle in the brains because he was the brains in that defense. Very vocal, very organizing, So, and I think even Stuart Baxter realized that he needed a Bushle so that Tyson can function. That's why he brought Bushle into the national team, and they formed a solid partnership, So I think right now what's important is to find the right person, because his transition and his integration from where he was, from the national team player, from the Vets player to a Pirates team, it wasn't smooth because of the people around him. So therefore, we need to look at who's better suited to partner Tyson. Who's going to help him in terms of organization?
Who is that, Brighton?
For me, I think let's give Tyson and Happy Jelle a chance, because Happy is all of that. He's vocal.
Right.
He's good at organizing. Let's give them a chance, because now what's been happening is Happy has been starting from the bench, and then time and again we always wait for something to happen to bring Happy in to stabilize the team, which is too late for me. I believe that now they started them, it's okay. It happened. Now they can get to let's go forth and build on from there.
Something when we want to start from the back, this is what Pirates want to do. That's why sometimes they were playing even Mayela as the left central defender, because they need to start from the back. Let's play from the back.
This is why it is interesting, Eddie. For me, playing from the back is beautiful on the eye. The question is, do you have the players to do it? For me, coaches should understand the kind of players they have got. I've already said it. We had the same experience at Vets, with Coach Roger and Eric Tinkler, where we wanted to play the Barcelona system, where two central defenders now split. They become the two right backs and left full back. And then you get the true left full backs getting onto the byline as the right wingers. And you get the midfielders coming to get the ball in the middle. So on trying to play that ball, the Nyenis used to lose the ball in the middle, and it was a free way to the goal. You understand? So the intelligence on the field of play amongst the players has to be there. The intention to play from the back is there. You want to draw the opponents to come and try, and then you open up the spaces. It's there. But when do you do it, and how do you do it?
Yeah.
Because you can't have two central defenders, two central strikers closing you down, and you're still wanting to still play the ball to the likes of Tyson.
And when it comes,
you're playing the likes of Mato, Cardoso, you're making it easier for the opponents to get a chance. So for me, it's very important. When do you play from the back? When should you go up? So for me, the player intelligence has to come in scenic. Secondly, as players, you have to understand each other. Who is comfortable on the ball? Can I pass Eddie when he has got an opponent on? I know Eddie won't lose the ball. Then I can pass him the ball. If Eddie has got an opponent and I know he's not comfortable on the ball, I'll bypass him and play the other, and then he receives a second ball. So that understanding and synchronization. But I know for a fact that in South Africa, if a defender is not comfortable on the ball, even his teammates will laugh at him. So they will take away his confidence. They will say, this one is just kicking our ball away. He's not comfortable with the ball. So if that player is having character, he will not succeed in that. He will drop balls, he will lose the game. So the players need to understand their teammates and the caliber, and then create a very wonderful team to play and be competitive.
But I don't understand why we're seeing this play out in public, guys. I mean, surely as professionals, I have to trust my teammates. And if there's a deficit of trust, then, we have to put in the right characters that lean on each other. Like, why is this, like at this level, really? Like, we're contending with this?
It means that it's not a happy hunting ground at this moment. That one we can know now. Because at the moment because I know that Tyson is not comfortable on the ball. But I was passing the ball under pressure with the opponent.
Yeah, it seems like players are saying, at least as long as they don't get it off me, they can get it off him.
Passing responsibility.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm proud Tyson, because as a central defender, I can tell you, whenever they're going to score a goal, definitely you're going to be there. Everybody's going to look, where is this defender? But he's always there because he has got character, trying to defend. Others are running away. It's very easy for defenders. In my playing career, one great player was Mabizera. When he was tired, he could go and hide in the middle of the pitch. He would play with a touch like that, but he cannot come back to defend. So when they score, they say, who was there? Because the one who was covering is the one is there and they're scoring. But they are scared to say, Mabizera, listen, you ran with the ball in the middle of the pitch and you dropped the ball, you could not come back and defend. Coaches were not bold enough to point out that. It took myself to tell Mabizera, please, you need not run with the ball there. We know we are tired. Stay at the back. Let's make it tight so that we don't concede. So players have to be comfortable with each other. You need to say, listen, Kune, first way to play that long ball, give it, and I'll play it, and first remain there. So if you can't, if you're scared of each other, defenders in a struggle.
But again, team, it goes with developing a purpose. I mean, we're touching base on the important matter when we're talking about building up. Understand? I mean, the main important factor when it comes to build up, you need to provoke the opponent. If they're sitting back, you provoke them to come to you to open up spaces so that you can find spaces behind them. You understand? But therefore, why do we build up if the team is sitting back? Do we know the difference in terms of saying, are we building up if the team is sitting back, or are we launching it forward to play on a second ball? If they're pressing us high, are we launching it forward or are we building up? That's the difference that we need to strike a balance in terms of knowing the purpose as to why are we doing it and which side are we most effective into doing it. So the good point that you made as well is that whenever you are seen in a picture frame where there's a goal, it means you're heavily involved. That's what used to happen with Mpomakola, actually, within the Pirates setup, whereby he'd lose a ball and then they'd go, maybe they'd create a chance or they'd score. And then every time he'd feel better about it. Then I said to him, look, it shows that you're a midfielder who's willing to be heavily involved, who wants to play, who wants to be part of the thick of things, you understand? So I think with him, like we've established that all he needs to have is a good support structure around him to understand that, look, he's not that comfortable. And of which, for me, I kind of slightly disagree, because he comes from an Ajax setup whereby they're comfortable with playing. He just needs the confidence. He just needs the confidence. For me,
the confidence is low.
The confidence. That's all. Because he comes from a good setup, and then he got used to the
The setup is not the issue.
Yes,
he is the destroyer. The problem you are getting is to try Tyson to be a playmaker. You are fading. Tyson is
no, but Tim, it's not about trying to make him a team player. It's about, you see, as a central defender, Tim, if I know that I cannot play, I'll do the simplest things. I get the ball and then I pass it. Simple as that. And then I go and mark.
But Eddie,
simple as that.
There is a difference between being played the ball under pressure and you receiving the ball without under pressure. If you are smart and intelligent as Eddie, I know, you'll position yourself away from the opponent, receive the ball with enough time to pass that ball.
I don't know.
Important.
I think maybe, he's trying to kind of help out, and then sometimes in that way you're letting yourself down because you take on everything. Like you say, he doesn't shy away from the responsibility, but then if there's no one around you to make, taking that on easier, then you're going to get exposed and it's going to show up. And then you end up on Monday Night Football at 10 o'clock and they're talking about you like we are right now.